A wedding is supposed to be the happiest day in a couple's life. A day of joy, of love, of laughter. A day where two hearts become one in front of family, friends, and God. But for one couple, that dream ended in the most shocking way imaginable. The music was playing, the food was served, the bride was radiant in her gown, and the groom seemed proud. Yet before the night ended, she would be lying lifeless on the ground, her white dress stained red, and the man who promised to love her forever would be in handcuffs. This is a chilling true story of the wedding that turned into a murder scene. The couple's backstory. The bride, Sarah, was only 25. Bright, beautiful, full of life, she was loved by everyone who knew her. She had dreams of starting a family, of becoming a mother, of building a future with the man she loved. The groom, Michael, was 29. Handsome, confident, charming. He knew how to sweep Sarah off her feet. They met at a friend's birthday party 2 years earlier. Sarah was shy at first, but Michael was persistent. He sent her flowers, took her out to dinner, and showered her with attention. Her family liked him, at least in the beginning. He came from a respectable background, had a decent job, and seemed responsible. But soon, crack began to show. Sarah's closest friends noticed his temper. He got jealous easily. If another man even greeted her warmly, his mood would darken. There were times he raised his voice at her in public, making her cry. Once, a friend asked her, "Are you sure this is the man you want to marry?" But Sarah always brushed it off. "He loves me. He's just protective. He'll change once we're married." That phrase, "he'll change once we're married," would turn out to be the biggest mistake of her life. The wedding day begins. Saturday morning arrived. The sun shone brightly over the city. Guests dressed in colorful lace outfits and fine suits filled the church. The choir sang softly as Sarah walked down the aisle, her veil covering her glowing face. People whispered how beautiful she looked, a true bride. Michael stood waiting at the altar, smiling, though some who knew him better said his eyes looked restless. The vows were exchanged. Rings slipped onto trembling fingers. The priest's voice declared, "You may now kiss the bride." Cheers erupted as Sarah and Michael sealed their promise. Cameras flashed. Mothers wiped tears from their eyes. For that brief moment, everything seemed perfect. The reception, a celebration. The reception hall was decorated with golden drapes and white roses. A live band played cheerful highlight music. Food was served, steaming rice, pepper soup, grilled chicken. Drinks flowed freely, with bottles of champagne popping open. Guests danced. Children ran around laughing. Sarah changed into her second outfit, a sparkling golden gown, and took pictures with friends. But while she glowed with joy, Michael was drinking heavily. He moved from table to table, his glass never empty. Friends tried to slow him down, but he waved them off, insisting, "It's my wedding day. Let me enjoy myself." As the evening went on, guests noticed his mood change. His smile grew thin, his laughter forced. He began staring at Sarah with an intensity that unsettled those nearby. It began with something small. Sarah was seen laughing with one of her old classmates who had come to celebrate. To her, it was harmless, just a chat about old school days. But Michael saw something else. He walked over, his expression dark. "Who is he? Why are you laughing so much?" he demanded. Sarah looked embarrassed. "He's just a friend, nothing more. Please don't make a scene." Michael's jaw tightened. He downed another glass of liquor. A few guests noticed but tried to brush it off. After all, weddings can be stressful and drinks can stir emotions. Nobody imagined how far it would go. Later, as the bride danced with her bridesmaids, Michael sat alone, staring, his fists clenched. One of his friends leaned toward him and whispered, "Calm down. Don't spoil the night." But Michael only shook his head. "She's embarrassing me on my wedding day." The breaking point. By nightfall, the couple was supposed to leave for their honeymoon suite. But instead of joy, an argument broke out. Outside the hall, under the dim glow of streetlights, Sarah tried to calm him. "You're drunk. Please let's go inside." But Michael's voice rose. "So you think you can disrespect me? You think marriage means you can shame me in front of everyone?" Sarah cried. Her makeup smudged as she begged, "This is not the time, please." Guests nearby turned their heads. Some walked closer, sensing trouble. But before anyone could step in, Michael grabbed her arm roughly. She pulled away, shouting, "Let me go!" And then, in a moment that would haunt everyone present, he pulled out a small knife he had hidden in his pocket. Gasps filled the air. Sarah screamed. Within seconds, the unthinkable happened. The knife plunged into her, staining her golden gown with crimson. Silence fell for a heartbeat, then chaos exploded. Guests screamed, some rushing forward, others running away in panic. Children cried as mothers pulled them close. Sarah collapsed to the ground, her eyes wide, her breath shallow. Blood spread across her dress. Michael stood over her, trembling, the knife still in his hand. His face twisted between rage and shock, as though he couldn't believe what he had done. Relatives tackled him, forcing the weapon from his grip. Others tried desperately to save Sarah, pressing their hands to her wound, begging her to stay alive. But it was too late. Within minutes, she was gone. Police arrived quickly, alerted by the frantic calls. They found the hall in chaos, guests weeping and shouting. Michael was dragged to the side, his suit stained with blood, his hands trembling. Officers handcuffed him as he shouted, "I didn't mean to. She pushed me. I didn't mean to." But the evidence was undeniable. He was taken away as his bride's body was covered and lifted into an ambulance. The wedding that was supposed to be a celebration of life had become a crime scene. Yellow tape replaced flower garlands. The band stopped playing. The hall emptied in stunned silence. The news spread like wildfire. By the next morning, newspapers carried headlines, "Bride murdered on wedding day." Photos of Sarah smiling in her gown were plastered across every page. Her family was inconsolable. Her mother fainted when she saw the coffin. Her father sat in silence, staring blankly, unable to speak. At the trial, witnesses testified about Michael's temper, his jealousy, his heavy drinking. Friends admitted they had seen signs long before. The judge's words were harsh. A man who could not control his anger has destroyed 2 families and ended a young life full of promise. Michael was sentenced to life in prison. The same hands that placed a wedding ring on Sarah's finger hours earlier were now chained behind bars. This tragedy is more than a story of one couple. It is a warning about ignoring red flags in relationships. Love is powerful, but love cannot cure violence. Love cannot erase a temper. Marriage does not change who a person truly is. If anything, it magnifies it. Too often, people see the signs but choose to hope. Too often, friends stay silent instead of speaking up. Sarah believed he would change, but change never came. A wedding should be the happiest day of your life. For Sarah, it was her last. So I ask you, if you were her friend or relative and saw the warning signs, would you have spoken up? Do you believe love can really change a violent person, or is that just a dangerous illusion? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more real stories that reveal the hidden truths behind love, crime, and human nature.